J-Drone here. This is the Tarantula 1505 with extremely long propellers on it. As you can see, there's not much space in between them. Today's date is March 13th, 2016. It's 52 degrees out with a 3-mile-an-hour wind and light rain. I want to see what it does when you switch out the propellers to something larger. Right away, it seems that it has more power or more lift. As I mean, this quadcopter really, all in all, is a very good quadcopter. It doesn't need any modification, but for the simple fact of experimenting, that's why I'm doing this. And actually, I think it's quicker. I really do. But as you can see, I'm doing these flips and barrel rolls. There's a yaw rate. I'm doing these flips and barrel rolls and it's barely going down. I think it's generating more power by the bigger propellers. And yeah, I'm gonna say this is definitely quicker. And definitely has more power. Or thrust. I guess that's what you would say. Because I am using a 500 mAh 3.7 volt battery, which is higher than the manufacturer suggests. Yeah, that barely comes down when you're flipping it. And having different color propellers makes this very easy to orientate. I have the green in the back and the black in the forward. So as normally when you get this really high and you can no longer see those lights, it's white so it blends in with the sky. These propellers go against what the sky looks like. The sky is never going to be a lime green, and the black sticks out very nicely. Yeah, this is cool. And as I said, there is a light rain. It's very light. Anything more than what it's doing now, I probably would not be out here. Just because this is not, look at that yaw rate. Just because this quadcopter is not rated as a waterproof quad. The body, for the most part, is enclosed. So, I mean, there's not vent holes on the top where water is going to get in it. You do have your motors, but they're constantly spinning, so I highly doubt any precipitation is going to get in there. But again, anything more than this, I wouldn't suggest coming out flying, eh? Yeah, that's flips very nicely. Definitely more thrust, more lift. Yeah, you can see that's barely coming down when I'm doing that. And with the regular blades on it in mode 3, I am in mode 3, when you press down, it kind of does a dive bomb, and no matter how much you push up on the throttle, pressing down in the third level, it still dive bombs. With this, I'm able to press down and up, and it's still able to lift. It's not completely dive bombing. And I guess that would be accounted to the thrust I'm telling you about. I can notice that it's lifting up quicker and taking off quicker. At least I'm perceiving it as it doing that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm right. I've done a lot of testing with this. And we just nicked the tree. I kind of dropped throttle because I didn't want to shatter one of these blades. There's a toss up. And we're off. And even with the rain coming down, again, it's very light, but that's downward force on this. And even with that downward force of the water slightly hitting it, I still think it's thrusting up higher quicker and out further quicker. I'm not too I'm not too with the physics of flying objects. I never really studied that or anything, but my conclusion to this is a larger propeller blade on something with this body style, it's gonna lift and go quicker. That's what I'm seeing here. Now I do have smaller blades than the manufacturer gave, and they're actually a 3-blade. They kind of look like a Mitsubishi symbol. I'm going to throw those on this then and see what that does. And again, this is sheer experimentation. A lot of people get these and they fly them as is, and it is what it is. I like experimenting with things. I mean, you've seen me out in 2-degree weather. You've seen me flying in extreme winds, snow, whatnot. That's all for experimentation. See what these things can handle, see what they can do. Modding batteries on the bottom, having them carry 808 keychain cams. All just to experiment and have fun. And it also shows you guys. A lot of people seem to be afraid to alter these things. Oh, what if I break it or this? I'm showing you. I mean, you can play with these things a little bit. They are essentially toy quadcopters, so play with them. Yeah, this thing, the lift is great. I mean, if you have a extra set of propellers, something from maybe a Striker or a SEMA X5, I think those are about the same size as what I'm using. Obviously, you don't want to go too big where they're touching, because then you're going to affect your flight. But you saw in the beginning the space that I have in between them. Even if I could find something slightly longer to where I could just barely fit 2 pieces of paper in, I'd like to try that, just to see if it increases speed and increases thrust, which from what I'm seeing here, I think it would. But again, these are just thoughts and assumptions on my part. I definitely do not know the physics of flying objects. Kind of trial and error, because like I said, I'm gonna throw smaller blades on this and see what happens. And they're a different style blade, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, if larger ones make it go quicker, I'm thinking there's a possibility the smaller ones might make it go slower, but also might make it more agile. I don't know. But this is getting a good flight time. We're past our 6 to 7 minute average flight time here. We're pushing 8.5 minutes. Say 30 seconds for setup in the beginning, so about 8 minutes. I do expect flight time to be a little bit lower, because increased length on these propellers obviously is increased weight. And with the normal propellers and the same size battery, this is one of them blue metallic ones, aftermarket ones. With one of these, I think I was pushing about 11-12 minutes. Oh, we're over here. I'm able to see what's front and back because of those blades, so let's see. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely awesome to have 2 separate color blades. And again, I kind of got a little out of control. That's how it ended up over there. Be careful when you're around people's houses. You don't want to make your neighbors mad or anything. And battery's done. I'm J-Drum. This is the Tarantula 1505, longer propeller blades. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Play with these things. They're toys. Once again, J-Drum. Have a good day.